Welcome to a video on how you can use OneNote for professional and personal note-taking and collaboration. First, how do we access OneNote? Select the Windows icon in the bottom left corner of your screen, find OneNote, right-click it, hover over More, and then select Pin to Taskbar. When you do that, OneNote appears on your taskbar in the bottom of your monitor even when you're not using the application. But let's go ahead and click OneNote and open the application. This is what OneNote looks like. All people in Calvert County Public Schools have a personal OneNote page. Your name at Calvert County Public Schools. You also will have other notebooks you may have created, and you may even have notebooks for the classes that you have this year in CCPS. But how do you create a notebook? You can create a notebook. You can also create sections inside of a notebook, and you can create pages that go in those sections. So let's see first how to create a brand new notebook. We're going to close out of OneNote. And we're going to open up Edge, and we're going to find, of the 4 tabs, we're going to go to Office 365. In Office 365, you have the waffle item in the top left corner of your screen. Click the waffle icon and find Class Notebook. Not OneNote, but Class Notebook. Select Class Notebook, and here you can create your brand new notebook. You see Create a Class Notebook, Add or Remove Students, Add or Remove Teachers, and Manage Notebooks. The 3 on the right are for notebooks you've already created. We're going to go ahead and create a new class notebook. So select Create a Class Notebook and give it simply a name. Now you can create notebooks for your professional learning communities, for your clubs. We're going to call this notebook PLC. We're going to click Next, and it's going to set up our notebook. We just have to follow all the setup directions. So we're going to click Next here. Now you can have collaborators. So you can have other people, adults in CCPS, that might have access to this notebook. So if we want to have collaborators, people that are on our PLC, we simply type their name in here, and we can add them as collaborators, and they can add items to the notebook too. If a notebook is for students, you can add student names. Maybe you have a club or an organization. They meet after school, and you can add those people, those students, to your notebook. We're not going to do this for this one since this is a PLC notebook. So no students. Click Next. Here, there are already sections that are the default sections that Office 365 creates in OneNote. Now for this, I'm going to close out class notes. We don't need that. We don't need homework, and we don't need quizzes. And we really don't need handouts, but you could also change the name rather than Xing out or closing out and deleting that particular section. So I'm going to call this section Agenda, and I'm going to add a section. I'm going to call that section Digital Files, because you'll notice in OneNote that you can add digital items like PDFs, you can add videos and other such items to your notebook. So right now we just have Agenda and Digital Files. We're going to click Next, and now we're checking to see, did we create the notebook correctly? OneNote lets you look at what you have. This is correct. I want the PLC to be the title of my notebook, and click Create. It's simply going to set up your OneNote class notebook, and this will be a brand new notebook that you'll have access to and whomever you've given permission to access and add to that notebook. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, let it set up the class notebook, and we're going to go back into OneNote. So we're going to select OneNote, and we're going to look at all of the features of OneNote. First, the automatic personal notebook that OneNote creates for you has a quick notes section that is already there. You can add other sections. As you can see, I have already done. Just select Add Section at the bottom of your Sections tab. Give your new section a name. I'm going to call this Staff Meetings. Each section is like creating a divider inside of a real notebook. So the divider would have pages devoted to that section. I'm going to delete this new section. I did not mean to have that section created there. So I'm going to right-click it and click Delete Section and select Yes. That is something you could do. So if you create a section and you did not want to create that section, you could always delete it. So again, each one of these sections is like a divider in a notebook. This is the notebook, your name at Calvert County Public Schools. It's your personal notebook. And each of these dividers can have pages. The pages are in this tab right here. You can see when I added a section and called it Staff Meetings, it created an untitled page. Now you can title that page 2 ways. One is you can type above the timestamp and just give it a title. So I'm going to call this Meeting Agenda, or maybe I'll call it Meeting Notes. So I'm a participant, not necessarily a creator of the meeting. Another way you could change the title is just right click and click rename page, and right here it's going to give you the option to rename it in the same spot where you gave it a name. Now, what are some other features? How you can add content to your notebook? Well, you could simply type notes. So typing notes, you type in the text field, and when you do that, notice it creates this kind of like text box, and you can either widen it or narrow it however wide or narrow you want to. If you were to continue typing, it would actually type all the way across the page and extend the width of your notebook. And if you continue typing and add lines, it could actually extend the length of your notebook. But you can control the width or the length of a text box, or the width rather, simply by using this text field here. Another thing you can do is click the bulleted tab and turn that into a bulleted item. Unbullet it, and then it's no longer bulleted. So if I'm going to add new notes, maybe I'm going to have notes for the meeting as the meeting is happening. So I'll click the bullet and I'll say item 1, and this might be one note that I'm taking. This might be another note that I'm taking. And I simply have a list of bulleted items. You can also, if you would like, numerate your items. So you're going to have that agenda item. You can put the cursor right before it, and you can enumerate that. And you could have agenda item 1, and you could have agenda item 2, and simply hit enter. And each new item will, of course, be enumerated rather than bulleted. So you can also change the name of your sections by right-clicking on the section name. I'm going to do that because the fact that I did not capitalize the M in meetings is kind of bothering me. Just a little bit particular about things like that. So now I have the section name exactly as I want it, staff meetings, and I have a page called meeting notes. Now to add content, you can simply click in the section that is that page, anywhere you'd like on the page, and begin typing any notes that you would like to. And so I'm going to go ahead and type so you can see how the text works when you're typing in a OneNote notebook. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to type somewhat of a long sentence. And of course, I'm doing that typical thing when you're typing. You have difficulty talking and typing at the same time. So what you'll notice is when you are typing, there is a text box that kind of surrounds what you're typing. And there's these two little arrows left and right. And what that means is you can actually narrow the text that you're typing, or you can make it as wide as you would like to make it. Now what happens is if you keep typing, it'll go down to wherever you made the text box as wide or narrow as you want. You can actually even widen it beyond the page, and now you'll notice I have gone beyond the typical width of the page. The page width is kind of about the size of the screen you can see here, but now that I've gone beyond the page width, I now have an ability to kind of scroll over to the right, and there could be content anywhere on that page, even what's not showing on the screen when you were originally looking at your OneNote notebook. Now I kind of don't like looking at it that way because I have to scroll too much to the left and the right, so I'm going to pull my text box back, and now the scroll bar is still there, but my screen has nothing on it, and that way anything I'm adding to my notebook I can see, and the text will continue to kind of follow along the margins according to the right and left part of my text box. So that's a really convenient way to take notes, and I'll just finish the next sentence. Okay, so what are some other things you can do in Notebook? Well, you can add a bulleted list. So I'm going to kind of put the cursor right below the sentence I just typed, these two sentences, and then click bulleted, the kind of icon for a bulleted list. And so here might be some notes that are going to be in the staff meeting. And then I'll go ahead and add the next note based on whatever we're learning in the staff meeting. And then you can see that you just have a bulleted list of whatever you might need to keep track of. Another thing you can do is enumerate your list. So if I put the cursor here to the right, actually that's another thing is depending on what you've already done, you kind of have to be careful about creating a new text field. So now the cursor's right here, and I'm going to click the numbered item, and then I can sort of do the same thing that I did before, except it's enumerating it rather than just bullets. So you can do that. It's pretty convenient for you to take notes and have a list of things that you want to be able to kind of keep track of. And you can also move your text boxes anywhere you want them. So I'm moving this text box to keep it in line with my bulleted text box, my numbered text box. I could pull it below if I want to. So those are some cool things about Notebook. It's a little more convenient than Microsoft Word, where you can move the text around as needed. Now another item that is really cool, another feature rather, is if you go over here where you see this checkbox right here, that's a to-do, but there's a drop-down. So you can turn these into to-do items. So maybe I want this to be a to-do item right here. So I'll put the cursor right before it says Item Agenda 1, and I click the drop-down, I click To-Do. Now that creates a checkbox where I can see if I've done that item, and if I've done the item, click check, that means I have done that item. Uncheck means I have not done that item yet, and it is simply a to-do list. So this whole thing could be to-do list if you would like it to be that, and you have a number of to-do items that you need to get taken care of, and you can keep track of that in OneNote. You can also see there's other items here. So let's go to the enumerated list. Let's say that I want to star something. It's really important. Then I click the star, and that item is really important to me. Let's say I want to highlight something. I can do remember for later, and it creates a highlight. And then I can also select the third one, and I can create a new tag. So if I click create new tag, I can create a tag with any one of these icons that matter to me. So you can see there's just a list of different icons, and I can choose one, and I can name that tag. So let's see, I want to go ahead and put a little kind of clock thing, and remember for later is going to be my new tag, and it's going to have a clock icon. I'll click create, and now that remember for later tag is a new tag that I have, and this item right here, I'm going to remember for later. Remember for later. And I have a little clock there. Okay, so there's some cool features of OneNote. You can star items, you can make a to-do list, you can highlight items. You can also highlight items in different ways. So let's say I want to highlight item agenda number 1. So I just drag over the item agenda number 1 text. I go over to this highlight, and I can simply highlight it just like that. If I want to highlight in different colors, I could choose another color by clicking the drop down next to highlight and highlight any color that I would like. You can also do the obvious. You can underline, you can bold, you can italicize items in your notes. So these are some cool features in OneNote that are simply a lot like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, etc. And they're in the ribbon up here just like they are in the Microsoft Office products. So you can use OneNote on your phone if you have the OneNote app added to either your iPhone or Android device. So I have done that. So I'm going to click on the OneNote app on my device, and you'll notice it opens up to the OneNote page. It has the same notebooks and the same sections that are on my regular OneNote. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a page. I'm going to give it a title, and this title is going to say testing schedule because I have a document that I'm going to take a photo of, and you'll see that with OneNote on your phone, what you can do is you can take pictures of things and put them, it'll automatically upload them to your OneNote. So the title of this page is called Testing Schedule. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this camera icon right here. And then you can see I have a document, Testing Schedule for ELA MCAP 2023. I'm going to go ahead and take a photo of that. And you can crop it as needed, so I'll crop it a little bit. And I think it's relatively straight. I'm going to go ahead and save it by clicking confirm, click done, and then I have now just taken a photo and added it to a page in OneNote on my phone, which you'll see in a second is now on OneNote on my browser. So that's one really cool thing you can do with OneNote if you have OneNote added to your phones. In the beginning of this video, you learned how to access OneNote as an app on your computer and pin it to your taskbar. But you can also access OneNote through your browser. It is one of the apps in the Office 365 waffle menu. So if you open up Office 365 and go to the waffle menu in the top left-hand corner, you will find OneNote. If you click on OneNote, it will open up in another browser tab. I've already done that, and so here you have OneNote open in a browser tab. Just find the notebook that you would like to work in. I happen to be in my name at Calvert County Public Schools, my personal OneNote notebook that CCPS provides, and it has all of the same sections and all of the same pages in those sections. Now you can see I'm already in the page that says testing schedule, and you can see the photo I took on my phone using the OneNote app transferred right to OneNote, and it's available in the browser. So you can see this is a photo of a Word document that was printed out, placed on a table, and I simply took a photo of it using the OneNote app on my phone. But what I also want to show you is that it also transferred to OneNote on the app. You see OneNote? I'm going to go ahead and click on OneNote right now and open it up, and you can see once again we have the personal notebook, the same sections, we have the same pages, and we have the testing schedule photo transferred to OneNote on the app. This is a fantastic feature of OneNote because you can take photos of any item you wish and upload it to OneNote. This would enable you to preserve digital copies of papers distributed in a PD session, student work samples, flyers, or any real-world item you would like access to in a digital format. I hope you found this video helpful for how you can use OneNote for professional and personal note-taking and collaboration. If you have any questions or would like to explore OneNote further, please contact your Office of Digital Learning Specialist to assist you.